Good afternoon once again. Good afternoon. Why are you so gloomy? Why are you so gloomy? You need to smile. It's the ocean. The waves are always smiling, and we need to also replicate the same. So welcome, everybody. I'm so much excited to be... I don't know, what am I doing here? Am I emceeing? Am I leading? Am I guiding? What am I doing? English people, what am I doing? Yes, so it's it's really amazing to have, for the first time, to have something like this in one of our own summits, which is the Africa Climate Summit. We had the first one in Kenya, I think 2023. How many of us were there? How many of us were born in 2023, by the way? How many of us were born in 2023? So you are all not born in 2023? Okay, yeah. So you'll bear with me. I'm this person who is very vibrant. I'm a comedian at the same time. I take things seriously at the same time. So you have to bear with me and you have to laugh. If I see you gloomy, you have to go and look for your crew so that we can stay with that gloomy crew. So it's an exciting moment for us to share and talk about the ocean. It's an exciting moment for us to really understand what are the solutions that can be built by Africans for Africans, because that is what I've been hearing in our first session. How can we build solutions that really address the needs of African people by African people? And this is the moment. And the ocean is just one of those spaces. I want to give you an imagine if the ocean just disappeared. Imagine if the ocean just disappeared. We all woke up. I don't know if we'll wake up. Imagine if we all wake up and the ocean is gone. What will happen? You'll not wake up because there's no oxygen. So you'll not wake up and everything will just be gone. And that is why you have a responsibility as humans, as people, here where we are, to make sure that we provide solutions that are concrete for our ocean, for our planet, but also for the people that we serve, right? Because we come from communities where we are serving people. We are serving groups. We are serving youth. The Gen Zs, we are serving them. And everybody plays a very significant role in their own space, in their own area. And I like the fact that you chose the ocean, because I think it's I don't know. Okay, it's my comment. You can quote me on this. I think it's the best place to be. You can't be anywhere else. Everywhere it's amazing, it's cool, good speeches, good everything. But the ocean speaks volumes. The ocean contributes a lot. I'm going to give you an example. And it's a question and an example. Did you know that if the blue economy, which the ocean is part of it, was an economy, it would be among the G7? Do you know the G7 countries? The US, I don't even know them, but I know you have G7 member states. It would be among the G7, contributing more than $2.5 trillion to the global GDP and more than 300 billion to the African economy. What does that tell you? It speaks a lot. It means we have a lot of work to do as ocean people. And how I wish everyone was dressed in blue. How I wish everybody was dressed in blue. I didn't know I was in blue. Yes. Yes, I'm used to it, to the fact that I don't know if I'm in blue. How I wish we were all in blue. So it's quite interesting. It's quite amazing to have such an economy which is creating millions and millions of jobs for young Africans, but also creating jobs for many people globally. And where is my team? I'm looking at... Okay. Yes, I would like to invite I have a very amazing team, group of people that are here, really amazing, exciting people that I'm going to invite them here so that you can keep on seeing their faces so that you can remember them. Whenever you go to those pavilions, you always remember them. So I'll invite them to join me here on this, how do you call this? How do you call this? Popo? Podium. Huh? It's not a stage? Stage. Okay. Okay, it depends with where you come from. Okay, podium/stage. I would like to invite Al Harris. Please join us on the podium/stage. Wonderful, wonderful. You guys are doing an amazing job, because that was my next work, was to tell you to keep clapping as I invite my guests. And I would like to invite Mr. Ahmed, forgive me for the pronunciation, Ahmed Gamal, is it Gamal? Yes, thank you. Please join us. No, you make sure you clap until they take their seat. Thank you. You know, when you do that, you also become active. You become active. Okay, and my next person is Dr. Women. You know, I was telling one colleague this morning that as a young person, I'm tired of hearing women empowerment. Women are so over-empowered and underfunded. Do you know that? Yes, you are so over-empowered and we are underfunded. We now need to talk about how do we fund women. So I would like to invite Dr. Dolapo Oluteye. Please join us. And thank you so much. And I think you bring the colors to the, yeah, because all those are dull colors, and you bring in the colors to the podium. You bring the sun to the room, which is really amazing. And thank you so much. So I'm gonna begin, and I think I have a speech which is sometimes boring, but I have a speech which you'll have to listen and clap where necessary. Okay, it's good afternoon. Delegates, colleagues, and friends. I think you're my friends. I've made friends today, which is amazing. And I would like to begin by telling you a story. For far too long, underline the word far too long, solutions for Africa have been imagined and designed outside our continent by people and institutions that always don't understand the lived realities in our communities. It is like trying to buy someone, I don't know, it's an example that I like using a lot. It's like trying to buy someone a winter coat in Dar es Salaam. For those who know Dar es Salaam, it's very hot. And then you buy them a winter coat. What does that mean? It might look nice on paper. It's really, oh, amazing. I've got a winter coat. It's beautiful. But it doesn't really fit. It doesn't fit the reality of that person in Dar es Salaam. But today, standing here, and of course, before I continue, I would like to invite my next important guest who is just arrived here, Dr. Muyungi. Please join us here. And yeah. He's such an amazing person, and please continue clapping until he gets here. Yeah, you can sit anywhere. Thank you so much. This is our chair for the Africa Group of Negotiators. What an amazing, you know, it's really great. And so when I say Africa is building, Africa is ready to build. And I saw something which I'm just going to read. Africa is not waiting. We are not waiting as a continent. And when you have such powerful and amazing leaders, things work out. And so I will continue. I'm so excited today with so much confidence being here at this, this podium, that the era is changing. That era of us getting things done for us as a continent is changing. And now is the time for Africa to build its own solutions, whether for us or for our children, our grandchildren, or our children's children. That is why we call it Africans, by Africans, for Africans, and for people of African descent. Solutions rooted in knowledge, but also in innovation and our lived realities. This pavilion is just one of the amazing ones, as I said. It embodies a spirit of the ocean, spirit of the waves. How many of us find peace in the waves? Whenever you hear the waves, it just gives you that vibe, you know, that vibe. It is a space to highlight ambition, leadership, and innovation at the nexus of oceans and climate. And over the next 3 days, you will see Africa's priorities and pathways that will be displayed, from resilience, blue food systems, as you can see, all the way, equity, justice, activism, youth engagement, but also looking at how can Africa build in terms of renewable energy. We had the first session was talking about renewable energies, offshore winds, and how can we build that for Africa. And lastly, I would like to share that, why does this matter? Why this pavilion? Why not call it something else? Why not call it lakes or whichever thing you'll choose to call it, and call it an ocean climate pavilion? And it matters because the ocean is Africa's lifeline. We all know that. Our blue economy is valued at, as I mentioned from the beginning, $300 billion annually. That speaks volume to us as a continent. And this supports livelihoods of more than 12 million people throughout. Talk of small-scale fishes, talk of aquaculture, talk of maritime transport, mention all of those. They depend on the ocean. Yet Africa receives less than, despite all that, we receive less than 2% of global ocean-related investment and less than 5% of total climate finance. So this is not just about financing gap, it is a justice gap. And that is why we are here to build solutions for the ocean that works for Africa and for the African people. This pavilion has been made possible through the support and partnership of our Resilience and Climate Alliance, OCR. A hand clap for them, please. I said you clap where necessary. Thank you. Ocean Vision's Carbon to Sea Initiative, Queen Climate Center, and the Western Indian Ocean Marine Science Association. I didn't know it was this in full. I had no idea. I just call it WIOMSA, so I didn't know it has this abbreviation. And UNESCO, which is the Intergovernmental Oceanic Commission for Africa. And we thank all of you for supporting us and making sure that this pavilion is standing where it's standing at the moment. And before I continue, I would like to introduce, I'll start with from my, is it my far right next? My far right next, I would like to introduce Mr. Ahmed Gamal, who is going to shortly share with us, just a little bit, share with us your work, and what really excites you about the Ocean Pavilion, because, and what do you really bring on the table? Because it's about what is Africa bringing on the table in terms of solutions, and how are we building those solutions together? Just quickly, if you can take on that before I finish off with our guest. Thank you.
My name is Gamal. I'm the president LMMA of NOSFAL in northwest Madagascar. And I'm here. I'm gonna to speak in Malagasy because I'm not well to speak English, but this my colleague will translate. There, that's.
Allez, fast forward there. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Amin'ny hoe a Madagasikara zany misy karazana telo zany fitantanana misy agny fotony, de misy ny hoe voalohany, de misy ny transfert de gestion ressources naturelles TGRN zany, de misy koa ny transfert de gestion ressources halieutiques ty ho an'ny ranomasina, de misy ny AMP aire marine protégée zany. Fitantagnana io zany fitantagnany fotony fa matetika zany misy olona sarosarotra zegny fitantagnana agny fotony surtout any Madagasikara satria mitokagna loatra zegny mpitantana hoe juste le mpitantana fo zegny mitantana le raha fa tsy voafaokon'ny le fitantana zany ny olo jiaby eo ifotony nefa zegny izy hoe fitantagnana ny fotony. Daly?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, first of all, my name is Nali and I work at Blue Ventures. I'm here to support Gamal. So in Madagascar, we do have free community management measure to manage natural resources. We do have natural resource management transfer. We do have also fisheries resource management transfer and marine protected area. This free management, this free legal framework allowed the community on the front line to manage their local resources. However, community managers are sometimes isolated, undermining the community, all community engagement to the management.
Ya, ny fahasarotana zany amin'ny fitantana ifotony ny voalohany zany tsy ampy zegny ny élément zegny agnatin'ny structure araiky. Eo koa zegny ny resaka moyen eo ampelantanan'ny gestionnaire local zany agnatanteragna ny asa. Ny voalohany zegny raha aminakahy manokana zany mikasika ny famagna amin'ny olagna zegny hoe karaha voalohany hoe manakory zegny ahafagna andresy lahatra ny olo jiaby io fotony mba ho tafiditra agnatiny zay fitantagnana zay satria zay samby responsable aby zay ny olo jiaby satria samy mivelogno amin'io agnaty ranomasina na amin'ny resaka laonko zany. Ny voalohany zegny aty amin'ny resaka fitantagnana fotony ny fanjakagna zegny ny voakasika agnatiny fo zegny magnampy ny fitantagnana fotony ohatra amin'ny hoe amin'ny ministère ny environnement sy ny ministère de la pêche fa ny problème zany resaka politique locale fa indrindrandrindra ny ben'ny tanàna eo amin'ny toerana zany eo koa zegny ny député sy ny tariny regny zegny tokony hoe ho tafiditra mba ho namagna magnampy amin'izay fa satria zegny rô zegny ny fanjakagna io farany marikitry ahafagna miaraka mamaly olona saindra misy ny olona. Avy eo zegny mila ny pêcheur zany efa tafiditra agnatin'ny resaka fitantagna fa hoe karakory koa zegny agnampidirana regny collecteur sy ny marière ny resaka avy eo zegny ny femme transformatrice regny eo koa zegny ny association tsotratsotra izy koa fa raha mikasika ny environnement zay tokony samy tompony andraikitra aby ny olo jiaby raha ohatra hoe tegna tafiditra agnatiny le olo mety moramora zegny magnatanteraka satria mahatonga izy sarotry satria zegny mbola tsy resy lahatra zay rô ny olo matetika amin'izay zegny rehefa misy zegny problème misy raha mandà zegny atolaka amin'ny gestionnaire local fa hoe asanareo zany fa tsy ninay tsy resy lahatra zay zareo nefa samby velomin'io ranomasy io zay le olo que ny solution zany hoe tokony impliqué agnatin'ny structure io zany na indrindrandrindra resaka hoe pijoro le pid.
Okay. Yeah. The main difficulties for our work is the lack of means to implement our work. So from the community perspective, one of the solutions is to get all the community engaged and also the local authorities. Often politicians are not engaged, which is difficult, and also to get all fisheries sector involved, like mariner or collector, and also women association. The engagement all of this local community is key to implement a sustainable solution at local level.
fa ny raha tegna ny important zegny amin'ny resaka fitantagnana satria fitantagnana talohan'ny zao nalain'ny fanjakagna zany ny tantagnana amin'ny fomba enti-paharazana tegna ny tafiditra tagnatin'izay zegny ny ampanjaka amin'ny resaka hoe fomban'ny tany zany satria le tany zay samy manana fombany. Raha ohatra hoe hita am'zay lefa nalain'ny fanjakagna zegny izy somary voailika zany le fomban-drazana regny zay zay mahita fa tegna efficace tsara fo zegny ampidirana fitantagna ampody agnatin'izay ampidiry agnatin'io koa zegny regny ampanjaka regny zay tsy ambela manao fa tonga impliquena agnatiny koa zay magnatsara izy. Eo zay volaniko hoe resaka moyen am-pelantagna za raha tsy managna moyen zany na de managna sosikefy managna idée anao tsy tanteraka zay le raha tsara fo zay koa hoe karakory izahavagna le moyen ahafahana mampandeha le structure zay mitantagna tsara.
One of the important thing also is to involve traditional leaders. Before, community manage the local resources with traditional leaders and traditional management. But after the legal framework where there is a system that allowed community to legally manage local marine resources, and we should complement and add traditional leaders within that management. So with this approach, we really need the main support to implement the management measure we are doing. So that is from the perspective of communities.
Okay, merci. Thank you very much.
Merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur. Oui, Monsieur. Oui, yes. Thank you so much. And right now, I would like to invite our guest keynote speaker, Dr. Muyungi, who will be joining us here on the podium. And as I mentioned, Dr. Muyungi does a lot of amazing things, and he's going to share with us. And as I mentioned, he's our chair, and let me be a little bit biased. I'm a proud Tanzanian who is like, yes, our chair is the Africa, whatever, yes. So it's super exciting for me, and he has been leading a lot, ensuring that Africa's priorities are front and center in global climate negotiations. So karibu sana. Karibu means welcome, so you have to learn a few words. Karibu sana, Daktari, for your keynote, and yeah, welcome. Do you want to use this or use this one? Then they miss you. Starts here.
Now, if I use this, some of you will hear me because you have these gadgets. Others will not hear me because they don't have these gadgets. So I'll have to do both. I will speak loud. So with the gadgets, I don't blast your ears. Those without gadgets, you can hear me. Okay? So I want to call you excellencies because you are pioneering everything. So I will start by saying, excellencies, dear colleagues, the pioneers of ocean vision and ocean governance, thank you for inviting me. It is indeed an honor to be here and open this pavilion at this important second Africa Climate Summit. This is being done in the land of innovation. We heard this morning at the opening how Ethiopia is so innovative in almost everything, and we do believe our work here will be illuminated by the work of the Ethiopian government in terms of innovations. We talk of the green legacy. We have now talked about the ocean legacy. So thank you indeed for the good work we are doing. The ambition for Africa cannot be measured in words alone. It must be measured in action that is real, just, and transformative. We need actions lives of our people and reshape our economies. For the African group of negotiators, ambition means more than pledges. It means delivering a cause that is inclusive, fair, and grounded in justice. One that builds resilience from the already living with climate impacts while also seizing opportunities to lead in the transition to low carbon pathways. Excellencies, nowhere are the stakes clearer than in our oceans. The ocean is a front line of risk. Africa's coast communities are already living with sea level rises, erosion, loss of biodiversity, and intensifying storms. These risks are not abstract. They affect food security, livelihoods, and even the cultural survival of our communities. Yet, the ocean is also a front line of opportunities. It is a powerhouse for aquaculture and blue foods, for carbon sequestration and coastal resilience. It is a frontier for renewable energy, and through careful and responsible innovation, even emerging fields such as marine carbon dioxide removal. The ocean embodies both the urgency of the climate crisis and the promise of Africa's leadership in solutions. Dear colleagues, equity and leadership must go hand in hand. Africa has contributed the least, as we all know, yet we are showing the world that solution can be built. Across the continent, our scientists, entrepreneurs, policymakers, and communities are advancing approaches that are grounded in science and shaping the knowledge of those who live across to the impacts. Global ambition cannot be achieved again without Africa. Global ambition cannot succeed without Africa's oceans and coastal communities at the center of the climate response. Friends, that is why I'm delighted to see this pavilion dedicated to Africa's ocean as climate solutions. More than the venue, this is a concrete platform for leadership. It showcases how our oceans can deliver on the visions of this summit, accelerate action, scale investments, and strengthen partnerships. Here, we have gathered as leaders from across Africa, at Africa's oceans, and the Africa Ocean Climate Nexus, including fisheries farmers, scientists, innovators, high-level officials, and the youth. To each of you, I say indeed thank you. Thank you for showing what is possible and for reminding us that Africa's leadership, whether at the grassroots or at the highest level, is indispensable for solving the climate crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, as we begin this summit week, let us ensure that the conversations in Addis echo far beyond this mountain city. Let us connect Africa's shores to the global negotiations. Let us ensure that ambition for the ocean is matched by action, by finance, and by results that are felt on the ground. This pavilion indeed will help carry the message forward, not only this week, but into the halls of COP30 and beyond. Indeed, together, let us anchor ambition in justice, root leadership in science, and place Africa's ocean and the coastlines at the heart of the world's climate future. Thank you very much for inviting me, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you.
Continue clapping, please. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Asante sana.
Asante sana.
Asante. Hope the photographer, you're able to capture that because I'm going to trend with that on social media. So thank you so much, Daktari. Asante sana. Yes. Let's give him a hand of applause as he leaves. Thank you so much. Oh.
I've got a request. Can you take a photo before we leave?
Okay, sure. Yes, okay. And I'm allowed to take. Yes, thank you. We sit or we stand? We can stand. Yeah. So that people can know I was also with the chair. Thank you so much, the AGN chair, for accepting to come and, open for us officially our Ocean Climate Pavilion. Thank you so much. Wow, and everybody's going with the AGN. It's really amazing to have a picture and I'll be like, this is me and this is the AGN. It's really amazing. So, especially for us, the Gen Zs. Is it Gen Zs? How many of us are Gen Zs in here? Yeah, you look like a millennial. Anyway, joking. So yeah, we are serving those people, the Gen Zs. Work with and we work for, so it makes sense. So I would like to introduce an amazing person. I spoke earlier that we are being over-empowered, over-mentored, and underfunded as women, and I want us not to have that happen in the ocean space. People are saying it's not. Now, is it now working now? It's not working. But you can hear me, right? Yes, thank you. Even this is working. It's working? Ah, I was happy, like I was going to use my hands and be like, yes. Okay, I was saying, made me get lost. I was saying women are being over-empowered, over-mentored, and underfunded. And now is the time for the ocean space to create that space for women to have access to finance, ocean climate finance, whichever solutions that they are building across the continent, they need to have access to that. So I would like to invite, would you allow me to call you Dollar? Dollar Bill. Do you know that song? I'm a Gen Z, so you should go with me the way I'm going. Karib Sana Dollar, so that you can be able to share with us what you have. You're so much welcome. Thank you. Hand of applause, please.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes? Yes. Okay, so I have to maintain this pitch. Fantastic. Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. Distinguished colleagues, and I stand on all existing protocols. It is a privilege to stand here, to say the least, with you at the opening of this pavilion. At a time when the ocean has never been more critical and central to Africa's climate journey, here we are in the Africa's Ocean Climate. Is it not working?
Yeah, let me turn that on.
Okay, just a moment.
Can you say something?
Hello? It's working now. Oh, fantastic. So should I start all over again? You're in front. Distinguished colleagues, and I'd just like to stand on all existing protocols. It is a privilege to stand with you at the opening of this pavilion at a time when the ocean has never been more central to Africa's climate journey. Standing before you here is a woman that is passionate not only about oceans, but about the role women play in the ocean. And that is what motivates me every single day to carry on with my work. Now, the ocean regulates our climate. I would say that I only just found this out in the past couple of years. I didn't know this. It sustains our ecosystems, and it supports the livelihood of millions and millions of people. Additionally, the ocean feeds our people. And I'm being biased here, I'm talking about Africa. The ocean feeds Africa. It powers our economy, but we have not been able to exploit the blue economy as we heard earlier. And it connects us to the rest of the world. Yet, it is also at the front line of risk. What do I mean by risk? Rising sea levels, warming waters, acidification, and shifting global policies are reshaping the very foundations of our societies. We gather here during the second Africa Climate Summit under the theme, Driving Green Growth and Climate Finance Solutions for Africa and the World. This theme, I dare say, is not abstract. It speaks directly to our oceans and our pockets. For Africa, the ocean is where the promise of green growth meets with the urgency of climate resilience. It is where nature, people, and economies intersect, and where solutions must be forged that are just, inclusive, and future-facing. But to seize this moment of profound transformation, one thing is non-negotiable. Science and research must be at the center of everything that we do. Why? Because data informs everything. When my dear sister there was speaking, she was giving you data. She was speaking in quantifiable terms to help you capture exactly what we need to focus our minds on. That's my job, and that's what I love. Evidence is the bridge between vision and action. It allows us to understand the risks we face and to design intelligent policies and to channel finance into solutions that are grounded, equitable, and scalable. Without science, without data, without evidence, Africa will remain a rule taker. We need to build evidence. It must be now our lifeblood. Within it, we negotiate from strength. Abstract investments are not on the table. Nobody puts their money where they don't know that they will make money back. So we need to attract investments through data with confidence and build a climate agenda that reflects our realities and aspirations. This pavilion is therefore more than just a space for dialogue. It is a space to showcase the knowledge being generated across Africa. And I can say this because I've led 2 phases, and I'm on the second phase, of an ocean-facing research. And I have passionate people around me, also people that want to develop evidence for Africa to move from just speaking to acting. Right from community-level resilience studies to ocean science, renewable energy pathways, fisheries, and maritime research. Together, these efforts provide the evidence base for green growth that is Africa-led and globally relevant. Colleagues, the ocean is not a backdrop to climate agenda. It is at its heart. If we ground our actions in science, if we align our choices with Africa's vision for green growth, then this pavilion will not just inform debate, it will inspire transformation. Above all, it will help us safeguard our oceans and our earth for generations yet unborn. And on that note, I say thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes. Yes. You've heard her. Or do you want me to repeat? Do you want me to repeat? We want to see where our money is going. You know, when you remove money, I don't know where my money usually goes to, by the way, you know? You just get your salary and then few days later, you don't know where it has gone. So we need data for us to be able to know where our money is going. We need evidence. It's very, very important. And it's also very important for us to strengthen the technical capacity of our politicians, because sometimes we tend to assume they know everything, but these people sometimes, they know nothing. They have no idea. So they need us to continue supporting them. And that is why we are here, to see how we can be able to work together. Okay, so I had amazing, I had great, I had amazing, great, lovely. What am I going to call you? Wonderful. Okay, so help me invite another wonderful speaker. Doctor. Wow, I have so many. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I have so many doctors. I'm not a doctor, but doctors have to listen to me. I have to invite them here to speak, because if I don't invite them, then it's not guaranteed for them to be here. So I would like to invite Dr. Al-Harris, if that is the right thing, Al-Harris, and he'll be sharing with us. He's a wonderful person who is advancing community-driven marine conservation, and I think that leadership, you should bring it to Africa as well, so that we can continue building together and see where our money is going to. So you're so much welcome.
Thank you, Shameen. Is that coming through okay? Yeah? It's a real privilege to be able to share a few words on this panel. The first ocean pavilion at the Africa Climate Summit, definitely not the last. It's a real privilege to speak alongside community leaders, fishermen, government representatives, Gen Z leaders, negotiators, innovators, and I'd just like to applaud Ocean Visions for bringing this together. Such an incredible breadth of talent and leadership and courage across the climate space here in Africa, here in this pavilion. The agenda, which is changing all the time because it's so dynamic, is incredible. It covers just about every area of ocean climate action globally, and it's all happening here in Africa. My name's Al Harris. I'm I guess you'd characterize me as a funder in this space. So I'm privileged to lead an alliance of philanthropies and foundations that are supporting what we refer to as ocean climate action. How can we accelerate the planet's response to the climate emergency through ocean-based pathways? And we're particularly interested in what that looks like in the Global South, in Africa, in the Caribbean, and in the Pacific. It's very difficult to follow the previous speakers in terms of highlighting the importance of the ocean to Africa. Africa is an ocean continent. I would go so far as to say it's a multi-ocean continent. It has the Gulf of Guinea, it has the Atlantic, it has the Indian Ocean, it has the Gulf of Aden, it has the Mediterranean. It's surrounded by oceans and ocean issues. 39 of 55 African countries are coastal, and the others, which are landlocked, like Ethiopia, play a crucial role in ocean governance and decision-making and trade. And the oceans, for food security, it's hard to underscore the importance of marine protein for nutrition and food security across Africa, not just in coastal states like Bissau or Comoros, but in inland states where they underpin nutritional security for hundreds of millions of people. I should, as a marine biologist, also touch on the biodiversity importance of Africa's oceans, second only to the Southeast Asian archipelagos in terms of the species richness, the Western Indian Ocean, seagrasses, reefs, mangroves, also the production of Africa's oceans, the immense productivity of the upwelling systems of the Gulf of Guinea, of West Africa, underpin some of the most important fisheries on Earth, which are not just feeding Africans from an environmental justice perspective. A lot of that protein is being exported to supply food for much of the rest of the world. And from a trade perspective, it goes on and on and on. All of these services, all of these goods, all of the role that the ocean plays for Africa is in jeopardy and is undermined by the biggest pollution emergency this planet has seen, which is the buildup of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. warming oceans, acidifying seas, declining fish stocks, migrating fish stocks as stocks and species seek higher latitudes, warmer waters, and more oxygenated waters. Coastal erosion, no longer just affecting villages, but increasingly affecting massive urban centres. Alexandria, Lagos, Dar. We are starting to see the true impacts of the climate emergency play out across Africa's coastal regions. And there's a huge injustice underpinning all of this. Since the 1700s, about 1750, just 4% of total greenhouse gas emissions have come from a continent that's home to 20% of the world's population. Africa has contributed very little to this emergency and yet shoulders a globally significant burden, a disproportionate and unjust burden of the impacts and of the global vulnerability. When we talk about ocean climate solutions, we see the risk, we see the vulnerability, we see the crisis and the extreme emergency in front of us, but we also see the frontier of opportunity for ocean climate action that is presented in Africa. In 2023, a report by the High-Level Panel for a Sustainable Ocean Economy showed us that about 35% of the emissions reductions that we need to achieve as a global population can come from ocean-based pathways. And Africa's potential to advance many of those strategies identified by the High-Level Panel is immense. It's disproportionate to Africa's population and scale. And we're starting to see a lot of that innovation play out across the continent, much of it represented in this room now as I'm speaking, and across Addis over the next few days. Innovations in e-fuel, supporting the industrial transition, innovations in ocean-based renewables, blue foods, aquaculture, blue carbon, conservation of these critical carbon-rich marine carbon sinks, the emerging MCDR, marine carbon dioxide removal and negative emission space, and what we're seeing from Africa and thinking through what that means in terms of governance, equity, and application of some of these industries, these emergent spaces in the African continent. Innovation in shipping decarbonisation, the role that Africa is playing in multilateral fora, from the UNFCCC to the African Union to the IMO, in ensuring that the voices and perspectives of African states are not lost as we seek to decarbonize key maritime sectors like shipping. And I should probably also touch upon Africa's leadership in opposing regressive steps towards anachronistic blue economies, opposition to offshore oil and gas, civil society movements that are informing opposition efforts to new offshore oil and gas all over the world, leadership we're seeing here in Africa. So we see a lot of the innovation in Africa, but I think something that really sets Africa apart in the ocean climate space is how equity and environmental justice is centered in so much of the innovation that we see. Equity is not just an add-on to ocean climate solutions in Africa. It's a driver of the impact. Solutions here are driven by coastal communities, shaped by them, as we're seeing with the emergent MCDR space. Because I think we recognize here in Africa that these interventions cannot endure without the buy-in of communities that are on the front lines of the climate emergency and who depend on the ocean more than anyone. We see this play out in the viral expansion of community-based governance, the LMMA revolution that started in Madagascar and is now expanding across coastal East Africa and the Western Indian Ocean. We see that in the innovation in the community-based aquaculture space, which we'll be hearing from later this week. We see that in the progressive legislation that we're seeing, the leadership from states like Ghana in boldly taking steps to move away from destructive mobile bottom gears in their coastal fisheries to support regenerative nearshore artisanal fisheries that feed more people and produce far more lucrative products for many. We see that leadership in centering equity in the talks that are ongoing and will culminate next month at the International Maritime Organization in London. So for me, that's a theme that we see more strikingly in the ocean climate community here than anywhere else on Earth. And I think that plays into the resilience and the perseverance that we're seeing on the continent. So huge congratulations again to Ocean Visions for making this happen. Looking forward to meeting many more of you, and we're really proud to be able to support some of this important work. Thank you, Shamin.
Thank you so much. Before you leave, thank you so much. I'm asking on behalf of others. I know they might not want to ask, but I'll ask on behalf of the others. It's Oka, you're doing such an amazing job, and I would say we invite you to Africa, and are you ready to work with us in Africa to build solutions for Africa by Africans as we work alongside? Are you ready for that?
Of course, I mean, we're proud to support this pavilion because this work matters so much to Africa. We're not at Bangkok Climate Summit, it also matters there. We can't be everywhere, we're a very small team. But we're hugely excited that this space is advancing. We're really excited that Kenya has taken leadership of Our Ocean and will be hosting the Our Ocean gathering in April next year. And we're really excited to ensure that ocean-based climate work is centre stage in that massive gathering that will be taking place. And we also look forward to seeing many of you at the YMSA Congress next month.
Yes.
In Mombasa.
Yes. Thank you so much. A hand clap. I was asking on behalf of others, and he mentioned exactly what I was asking. The WYOMSA Symposium is coming up in September from the 28th through the 3rd of September. We have the Africa Blue Food Festival, which is also coming up in September in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. And then we have our Ocean Conference for the first time. Underline first time. It's happening on the African soil, and that is Kenya will be hosting the 11th Our Ocean Conference next year. So this is just the beginning of the journey, and OCA supporting this pavilion and supporting us to be here. It's very, very important to see the work that we as Africa are building and how we can continue building this together. If you came in here with a friend, make sure you leave without that friend. Live with a new friend. Don't sit with the same person you came with. You're talking about the same things, complaining about your country. Talk to somebody else. Hear about their country as well. What is happening? Because that is growth. That is what makes you think beyond that bubble that you have lived in or beyond that friend that you have. That is how you create relationships, partnerships, collaboration. And I would like to thank all of you because I was winding up. I would like to thank all of you for your patience, for sitting in. And guess what? This is not just the end of it. We have sessions that are coming up and we have sessions tomorrow. So if you want to hear my voice again, I have a session tomorrow on blue foods and aquaculture at 10:30 a.m. And I have another session on youth and activism. Youth that are building bold solutions across Africa in the ocean space from 13:00. So if you still want to hear this voice tomorrow, join me and we can hear this voice together. So thank you very much, everyone. And I have snacks for you so you can pick some snacks out there as they make yourself comfortable. Thank you so much.